It's Tuesday, the 11th of November, 2025. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories, 5 minutes. Let's get cracking with story number 1. ANZ's cash profit tumbled 14% for the last year, dragged down by redundancy costs and legal penalties, and new CEO Nuno Matos said the results weren't good enough.
The cash profit was $5.8 billion, and apart from the one-off cost, profit was flat on the prior year. Basically, the institutional New Zealand business is doing pretty well. The Australian retail business, the business lending part of the operation, and the private bank divisions underperformed. Deposits were higher, home loans rose. The bank, like its peers, wants to shift away from broker channels towards ANZ staff selling home loans. Its share price jumped 3% yesterday. Now, of the 3 big banks to report over the past days, the others being NAB and Westpac, ANZ has certainly been best received. What investors also liked was yesterday there was the Nuno Matos, the CEO, said he wouldn't take his near $1 million short-term bonus because of what's going on. He also, or the board also decided to cut a combined $32 million in bonuses from previous leadership, from previous executives at ANZ. That's all over corporate governance failings. Shane Elliott, the former CEO, for example, he's losing $13.5 million in bonuses.
Okay, well, wrapping up the full year results for the 3 banks, noting, of course, Sean, that Commonwealth reports its quarterly earnings today.
Yeah, basically, growth in costs, not a huge amount of revenue growth, pressure on profit margins. The expense to income ratio across the big banks is over 50%, highest level in 15 years, not good. Tech spending is higher, notwithstanding recent headlines about job cuts. Headcount is at a record level. All the banks want to shift away from mortgage brokers. ANZ is about clearing the decks for the new boss, taking the medicine of poor governance in recent years. Westpac is about building the business as it pushes to unite a bunch of legacy tech systems. National Australia Bank is about protecting its small and medium-sized business franchise. Which one do investors like? Well, purely based on share price moves after the results, probably ANZ, though it is the cheapest as well.
Story number 2, the Reserve Bank could be boxed in when it comes to interest rates, and its Deputy Governor Andrew Hauser has called on business to invest to help boost lagging productivity and grow the supply side of the economy.
Hauser said the Reserve Bank's interest rate cutting cycle began at the strongest starting point of any economic recovery in 45 years, meaning getting inflation under control is harder. Also means that the central bank has limited capacity to cut rates further. In a beautiful example of Reserve Bank speak, Hauser said it wasn't mad to think future rate cuts are coming, but it was more plausible to worry if there was room to cut rates. The recent increase in inflation, according to the Deputy Governor, was 2/3 from temporary price spikes, things like travel and fuel, 1/3 from demand pressure.
Story number 3, the sales of hybrids and plug-in hybrid vehicles surged last month, Sean, as the shift to electrification picks up speed.
Last month, there were just under 100,000 vehicles sold across the country, taking the full year-to-date figure to just over 1 million. Hybrids and plug-in hybrids accounted for nearly 1/4 of all sales in October. As petrol-only vehicles continue to lose market share, SUVs again dominated 62% of total sales. Chinese-built vehicles strengthened their position as the 3rd largest source market. Sales from China were up 40% year on year. 4 Chinese brands again featured in the top 10 brands for the month. One vehicle, the Chery Tiggo 4 Pro, 450% sales growth compared to a year earlier. Quite incredible. Or the car writers say it's extremely good value for money, and obviously consumers think that too. The top seller, Toyota Hilux, followed by Ford Ranger and Toyota RAV4.
Story number 4, the ACCC has warned that retailers found to be using deceptive tactics or misleading shoppers about Black Friday discounts could be issued with penalties.
There is a list of things the competition watchdog is not happy about. Misleading time representations, for example, 3 days only. It isn't 3 days only. Claims of store-wide sales when in fact the sales involve exclusions. See those signs on the front window? The fine print or disclaimers. So, you walk in and it says things like up to 50% off, but you only see the 50% off and you get close and it says up to. Those sorts of things. That's what the ACCC is cracking down on.
Yep. Fair enough. Last one. Story number 5. The US federal shutdown is almost over after renegade Democrats broke ranks with their party and voted to support a deal to end the record-breaking shutdown.
The Senate voted 60-40 on a procedural measure to advance the bill and then adjourned until Monday US time. That's tonight. There is not yet a scheduled time to vote on the final passage of the bill, but it will pass. It then goes to Donald Trump for his signature. Under the agreement, Congress will pass full-year funding for the Departments of Agriculture, Veteran Affairs and Congress itself, while funding other agencies through to January 30. The bill will provide pay for furloughed government workers. It'll also resume withheld federal payments to states and localities and recall agency employees who were laid off during the shutdown.
All right, there we go. The top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It is Tuesday, the 11th of November, 2025. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, wherever you listen to podcasts, and head along to fearandgreed.com.au and sign up for our free daily newsletter. I'll put a link in today's show notes as well. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.